Hello. Sorry, I'm working on Ubuntu and this Windows computer doesn't like. So I must use my own computer. So hello, my name is Julie. I was journalist since 12. I was journalist during 12 years. Now I'm cybersecurity analyst since 1 year. I'm always a Padawan, learning and learning and learning. I love to collect 60K modem to send to shitty countries where they cut internet in order people can connect and can communicate again. I also participate to a non-profit provider, and I'm so French. You know how you can recognize the French people on the IRC? That's the one who say, sorry for my bad English. So away from keyboard, but not too far. Sorry for my bad English. So there is lots of journalists. There is lots of people who are thinking about what journalists are doing. But even if you are in a safe and democratical country, you can have problems and people can take your data. Even if you are in a safe and democratical country, you can be spied by NSA or what else. So how to protect yourself? First, knowing your tools. Second, try to don't have your data with you. That's important to protect sources. And after that, beginning a really big nightmare trying to be better and better and better with security. In France, a democratical and cool country, there is a new law. It was a project when I created the slide. That's a real law now. They voted a few days ago. Now, intelligence can monitor everybody communications without a judge permission. That means when you are a journalist, they can know who are your sources, who are you calling to you, who you are calling, sorry, who you are writing to, and maybe open your emails if you don't encrypt your communications. They say, okay, maybe that's because of terrorism. All is for terrorism. They try to spy you every time. That's because of terrorism. But in France, in '86, we had an attempt. It failed, but it was in 1886. Internet doesn't exist. So these terrorism stories are just bullshit. If you don't know how your computer works, how you can be sure you protect your data? If you just open something, try to run a program, and you don't know what this program is doing, how you can know if this program don't take your data, don't open on your files, don't send your files to someone else, a distant server, or something like that. And if you don't use free software, how you can know what your computer is doing? Yeah, maybe you can know because you are technical high level, but normal people can't know what their computer are doing. So first step is to use free software. Second idea is hosting. Hosting is hosting your data when you are a journalist. Okay, that's good, but I don't know how to run a server and something like that. So first, you learn how to use command line with a distant server. Okay, you have to learn about security of your server. Having a SSH key and stuff like that. Okay, but where I can put this server? I had two ideas. First, in a data center. Second, in friend's home with his own computer. Depends on what you want to do with friends. That's good because you can learn a lot of things. Because someone is here when you have a question and something like that. But even with really good friends, you don't know if you can't access to these data. So that's, again, a problem. I love my friends, but I have to protect my sources. And that is most important. So you can put that in a data center and maybe ask your friends to help you to build the security of your server. That is just the first step. So first you learn command line. Second, you have your own server. After, it's time to play. When I was in Egypt, during and after Mubarak, I lived there. I really loved to use rsync command. Rsync is really good because you don't have your stuff with you in your computer, in your SD card. You just send everything to a server. So the server can be everywhere in the world, and you have nothing with you. So it was really, really good. I loved rsync. It was my favorite command. But there is again a problem. Every time you fix a security problem, a new problem appears. Because all is recorded in bash history. So what is bash history? Basé sur le Bourne Shell, Bash lui apporte de nombreuses améliorations provenant notamment du Corn Shell et du C Shell Bash, un logiciel libre publié sur GNU GPL. Il est l'interprète par défaut de nombreux Unix libres sur les systèmes GNU Linux. C'est aussi le shell par défaut de Mac OS X et il a été porté sous Windows par le projet Cygwin. You don't understand? That's normal, that's in French. But the problem is I am French and I don't understand at all. So when you are a journalist, knowing nothing about computer, yeah, take your word and you can roaring a lot. Okay, so you have again to ask some friends or to ask some hackers in France. We have some hackerspace, so you can go and ask questions to people. So another thing you have to learn, what is Bash history, and how to manage with that in order Bash history don't record your rsync command. Because if the authority take your computer, don't find the documents, and see in the Bash history you made rsync to a server to send your data, you'll have the problem because they can't connect to the server and find your data. So you have to ask to your computer, okay, don't record when I send these data. Okay, that's good. But what about my flash keys, my SD card? That's, again, problems. Deleted, that's just shit, because you all know everybody can find data you deleted from your SD card with really, really useful tools, so everybody can find. So you have to cover and cover and cover and cover your cards or your flash keys, or maybe make a shred with flash keys. So yeah, a new command to know. Okay, so now that's good. You say, okay, that's a good thing. I send the data. They can't see that. I cover every tracks. So I'm okay now. I can go to the war and having no problem with the intelligence. Okay, but if you open your files, that's again a nightmare. If you open your files before to send to your editor, someone in the newspaper you work for, the problem is when you open the file in the memory of your computer, your data and the metadata can be stocked. So that's again a problem. If you clean all really good, if you send all in a server, and if they find metadata and data on your computer, that's again a problem. So you have to learn how to delete these tracks. The other problem is USB flash keys. Because when you go in press center, everywhere when you have conference, there is places for journalists, and they put lots of flash keys with pictures and informations, and you see all the journalists say, "Oh yeah, good news," and they put on the computer, just take the pictures, take the information. They say, "Oh yes, that's good. I have everything to write my article, and that's good." Yeah, yes, that's good. You have everything and a malware. So the solution is to never plug a flash key on your computer first without knowing. And I'm trying to check in on my Raspberry Pi. I don't know if it's the best way. I'm doing that like a Padawan in my home. I'm using Raspberry Pi, to mount, create an ISO, and verify if in the press flash keys there is no hidden .exe file. Because sometimes you can open a PDF or open a JPG file, and that's an exe file, and you run a malware. You can't open exe file with free software, with Ubuntu. So that's good. If you don't use Windows, that's a good thing. SSH. No, every time you learn a new security solution, every time you discover new problems reading. So that's good to connect to a server to put your data on it. But if you just connect without SSH security, they can find the traffic. And also, they can monitor and they can find your data and your sources and everything. So, first, connect with SSH. On your server, put it encrypted folders and encrypted folders and encrypted folders. When I lived in the Arabic world, in my computer and on my server, I every time put Arabic insults for passwords. That's a bit of social engineering. I imagine if they find me and they beat me a lot, after hours and hours and hours, I will tell my password, and I will tell the guy, "Okay, your mother is a cow," and he will just not think that's my password. So that's a shitty way, but that's a good way to protect sometimes your folder. Not hosting stuff you don't know security level, and checking folder permissions, because you can write when you're on the server, you know that, but when you're a journalist, you don't check this sort of things, and sometimes if someone else access to your server and can modify your documents, can cover things, you can lose everything because you don't have anything on your computer or on disk. If you just put everything on your server, be careful to check permission. And the question is, who can access to this server? That's another question of permission. But, if you don't want to do all of that, things can be easy. If you use Tails, each time you need to transfer data, you can use rsync, my favorite command. You can connect through Tor. You can have no information in the hard disk. So that's a good solution if you don't want to work a lot. I know that's difficult, and I'm learning already. I'm already learning. And I will learn in 2 years, in 3 years, in 5 years to be more and more better. But I understand when you are a young journalist, you just go outside of school, you want to go to the war in order to make big stories, and you don't want to do all of that, you can just please use states, because yeah, maybe you can be alive because of that. So that's a good idea. For another night, you can sync to mobile phone, because you know, now because of Snowden files, we know because of that there is geolocalization, there is with baseband, some intelligence can hear what you're doing, can listen. So yeah, that's a problem when you go to interview, to meet some activists, to meet some political important people, and there is just one solution. Yeah, without a microphone, that's better. If you have an iPhone, you can't do that, and they can follow everywhere, every time. If you have another phone, you can be free a bit. But the guy you go to meet can do that too. A girl, one day I was teaching some security for journalists, and a girl told me, oh, I have to type my password for Gmail every time on my computer, on my telephone. I say, yes, because if someone take your telephone and can access to your emails, professional emails, can access to your sources, can access to your work. So maybe your sources can be in danger. Yeah, but typing my password every time is boring me. Yeah, but you can change your job if you want. That security is not so hard when you understand that just little things of every day. If you just try to type every time your password, could be better if someone take your computer or your telephone. If you try to use Tails to protect some data, it will be better to use nothing. And you will begin step by step, and will be better after and after. And later, there is some other questions. I'm working on it now. Using private key or passphrases, I'm using two. I use Lux to store some documents, but is it good to store private keys? Is it better to mount a flash key on a live distro or on a Raspberry Pi? And yeah, that's more and more complex every day. If you try to learn, that's complex. But protecting sources is not. In France, you have a lot of journalists who say, okay, I will use things when they will create useful tools. Okay, but you have to protect your sources and no one else. So some tools exist. First, put your fingers outside of your ass, put on a keyboard and try to learn. Try to protect your sources. And if you have a problem, some people can help you to fix it. But things exist. And protect sources is not someone else's responsibility, is yours. Thank you. And if you have so many questions. Sorry.
Hey, two questions.
Yeah.
First one is, how long did it take you to, I don't know much about your background, so I'm curious, how long did it take you to get to this level of proficiency, you know? You talk like quite a savvy sysadmin, not like your average journalist. And the second question is, well, we learn new things every day, and we understand that we did something wrong, usually, and until we learn to do it better and secure ourselves better. And I'm curious, when was the last time, what was the last thing that you learned you were doing wrong, and when was that exactly? Because, you know, I just learned that having an iPhone is bad, And I learned this today, so I'll probably switch to a SysAdmin phone.
Okay, so for the background, I lived 1 year and a half in Egypt between 2009 and mid 2011. I lived after that in Tunisia. I was in Sudan. I went to Syria at the beginning of the revolution. And so I had some problems in Mubarak time in Egypt. People following you, people know you are a journalist. I had policemen around me who say, okay, if you're still making interviews and stuff like that, we can arrest you. So I was obliged to learn this stuff. So at the beginning, I just had a friend called Google and tried to find some things. And after I met some people, bloggers, activists in Egypt who helped me to secure my first steps. And after that, I just learn and learn. More recently, I was in a team to help Syrian people to communicate between themselves and with people in the world. And so I was between the technical guys who speak in English and some Syrian people who speak Arabic and just Arabic. I have a bad Arabic. When I speak Arabic, that's like yogurt. But if I wanted to teach them, to explain them how to protect themselves, I must learn from the technical team. So I learn like that, step by step and step by step. And for the second question, I'm trying now to use token. You know token? And that's really, really hard. So I'm trying, because I want something great, and so maybe it's too hard to do for me, but I think I will arrive, maybe in 3 or 6 months, or maybe more, but I think I will arrive. And yeah, you can have fails every day, but that's just a fail. Next day will be better. It's just someone here too, and someone here, yeah.
Did you use any two-factor authentication in any of your systems so far?
Sometimes, but not all. And I can do.
You're trying to move to it. Okay.
Hi. So have you used like operating systems that are made specifically for journalists and other non-technical people, like Tails, which is based on Linux? Or I know the Electronic Frontier Foundation, they maintain a website with a lot of information for journalists and easy to use tools, because don't get me wrong, the information you presented is interesting, maybe not very interesting for a lot of people here because they're very technical.
Yeah, because you're technical.
I'm a journalist, for example, but they didn't offer many user-friendly solutions, right? You could have included some actual examples of tools that are out there and journalists can easily use, or maybe secure storage services, store operating systems like Tails, maybe password managers with two-factor authentication that adopt a zero-knowledge model and encrypt the vault locally, or stuff like that, which can obviously be useful for journalists.
Yeah, but this is not a nightmare. This is dreams. You can find that, and that's really easy. My talk was after that, when you try to go after using these tools, these friendly tools, what you can do to be more secure. But yeah, that's good. Maybe Reporter Without Borders, they give Tails keys to people. They help them to install VPN. I didn't talk about VM like VirtualBox and stuff like that. But that's good too, because the big problem when you have some journalists is they are afraid to change their habits. Like everyone, because, oh, I don't know what's that, and I don't know how it's working, so yeah, I'm afraid. And I was like that at the beginning. And I he tried Ubuntu in a virtual machine during months. And when I was ready, I changed. I tried Tor on a virtual machine at the beginning, but because I was afraid about what this program I didn't know can do on my computer. And the main problem is people who are afraid. But when you make friendly tools, as the one you talk, you can help them with that and help them to follow and have the next steps.
Other questions? Yeah.
How you are securing your internet?
Mine?
Yes, as a journalist, how you are securing your internet?
Security, what? Your internet?
Yes, how you are securing your internet?
Okay, depends of what? Applications, connections, using VPN, yes. Using sometimes VM, using Tails. Depends of the moment, depends of the country, because in some countries, yes, I encrypt my emails in France, and that's good because not lots, but a bit of people encrypt the emails. If you're in a country where no one encrypts emails and you are alone to encrypt your emails, you will have problems because they will see you are a problem. So depends of the situation, depends of where you are, depends of what you want to protect. There is not a magical solution. Yeah.
Have you ever used Virtue or heard about it?
What?
Virtue.
How you write that?
It's spelled VIRTU, and it's a solution to encrypt your emails and send them securely and see if the recipient received it. And if you misspelled the recipient address, you can then revoke the email, revoke that key associated with your email. It might be a good solution if you're corresponding with untrusted persons.
No, I just use PGP for email.
Yeah,
so I don't know Virtue, but I can try. Yeah.
Virtue is a free extension for Firefox and Chrome. Is open source, is free, and it doesn't require for the recipient to have anything installed. So it might be a good solution for you.
Okay, thank you. I will try.
We have time for one more question. No? Okay,
okay.
then thank you.
Thank you.